Here's our corrections video for lesson 4. This is about the grand staff, which is the treble clef and the bass clef together, and all of our middle ledger lines. So the notes that occur underneath the treble clef, but above the bass clef, so in between the two clefs. Number 1, it wants us to draw the grand staff. It includes the brace and the bar line, but also both clef signs. So here we go. We're going to start, I like to start with the bar line, and then the brace, and then my treble clef, and my bass clef. Bar line, brace, treble clef, bass clef. Bar line, brace, treble clef, bass clef. Okay, on number 2, before we move on, just a reminder, you should be correcting your homework with your red colored pencil. Everything that I have, you should have on your page. If you don't have it, do it now in red. If you have it but it's wrong, correct it in red. Just write the correct answer over the top of your wrong answer. Okay. So we're starting in the treble clef. So we're going to be using F-A-C-E, face in the space, and every good boy does fine on the line. So let's get started. For right now, I'm going to skip all of the middle ledger lines. Okay, so this first empty one, we have every good boy does fine. F-A-C-E, face in the space. F-A-C-E, face in the space. We're going to skip the next one. Every good boy does fine. Skip the next one. Every good boy does fine. Every good boy does fine. F-A-C-E, face in the space. F-A-C-E, face in the space. And every good boy does fine. Now for these next ones, remember, if you can't remember door, basement, and center, you can just count backwards from the bottom line. So we're going to go backwards in the alphabet from here. The bottom line is E for every. So this is going to be the letter that's right before E, which is obviously D. Okay, so let's find all of those first. Here's another one. It's right before E, so it's got to be D. Now, the next note that is below that, so we have a space here, which means the next note below that is going to be a single ledger line. So this one and this one. And again, we're just going backwards in the alphabet. So before D comes C. And then one more time, we're just going to go, this line was C, so the space below it is going to be the letter right before C. So this one will be B and B. Okay, let's move on to the bass clef. Again, we're going to skip our middle ledger lines for right now. All right, so we are going to have great big dogs fight animals. We're going to skip this one. We have great big dogs fight animals. We have all cows eat grass. We have all cows eat grass. Great big dogs fight animals. Great big dogs fight animals. All cows eat grass. Great big dogs fight animals. And all cows eat grass. Now, bass clef middle ledger lines are easier because we just get to go forward in the alphabet. And the top line right here is A. So it's really, really easy. We don't have to worry about starting back over at A. We're already on A for our top line. And so the very next space after that line will be the next letter after A. So this one is B and this one is B. And then we're going to go up another step. So we had a space note. Now we're going to have a line note. And it's just going to be the very next letter after B. And they've already done one for us. So this one right here is C, which means that this one right here must also be C. And then we're just going to keep going forward in the alphabet. If this line right here was C, then the space above it is the letter after C, because as we go up, we go forward in the alphabet. So this one is D, and this one is D. Okay. Exercise number 4. They want us to draw the note in 2 places, but in the staff that they tell us. So This very first one, it wants us in the bass clef and both of the B's that are in the bass clef. So the easy one is we know we have great big dogs fight animals, but we also have the basement. Now remember that the basement can also be drawn right here in the treble clef, but it didn't ask us for the treble clef, it asked us for the bass clef. Okay, the next one asks us for treble clef D's. So we know we're going to have every good boy does fine, but we also need the door. Next one, it wants treble clef B's. The easy one is every good boy does fine on the lines, and the tricky one is our middle ledger line, the basement. So remember that this note and this note sound the same, are played the same. It's just where do they live right now? Do they live in the treble clef or do they live in the bass clef? Okay, next up we have C in the bass clef. The easy one is all cows eat grass, but then we also need the center. The center. Okay, next one is treble clef C's. We have F-A-C-E face in the space for our easy one and center C for our tricky one. Remember, this C and this C are the same. They sound the same, they're played the same, but one is the bass clef and one is the treble clef. But they are the exact same note on the piano. And lastly, we need our bass clef D's. So we're going to have great big dogs fight animals, and then we need the door. And the door is above center C, so we'd have basement, center, door. All right, make sure that yours matches mine. Anything that didn't match, you have now corrected it with your red pencil, and take your picture to submit on Canvas.